Okay everyone, so this is a bit of an impromptu recording because a few things have happened this week that didn't quite go to plan. Firstly, I intended for this week to have a video. It's like a complete show off of Slug Disco's Empire of the Undergrowth. There's a trailer for it that I showed in EGX Res and sort of talked to the developers. I wanted to show it off because it was the game I spent, well, probably the longest time playing with at Res. It was very interesting and I wanted to show off my thoughts about it. That didn't happen because I ended up doing a different project. You should be able to see this. It's a bit of software for After Effects called Saber. It's by Video Code Pilots and I'm learning how to use it. So I've given my sister, who looks at this, I've given her a lightsaber, and then as she's working the lightsaber, give her like little powers. And we're probably going to go somewhere forward with that and start working on some short films, the pair of us. They may be on this channel, they may be on Cinemart, or they may be on her new channel. I'm not sure we're going to put them on yet. I also made a test, so an ident, so when you log in, it's like, yeah, you can look at this. That's not what it's going to look like. I didn't really want to do that, but I thought it looked kind of cool. Other than that, yeah. Yesterday something quite sorry. Yesterday something quite interesting happened. I've been driving for 1 month now, and someone has now gone into the back of me, and yeah. Excuse me so much. Yeah, so you sort of see the damage. I'm fine, probably. I've just yeah, had an interesting experience, as that was a bit of a shock. The car is sort of fine. It looks like this now, but yeah, other than that, it's kind of working out. So I didn't get around to doing Slug Disco's game. However, there is one thing I did do, and that's in this month, which would be May's Humble Bundle. One of the games was the Turing test, which is a really interesting game. It's a Portal-like, which is interesting to say. It's like a room-based puzzle game where you solve puzzles as you go from room to room to room. But the really interesting thing about it was the fact that when I came to looking at it, the very first thing I noticed was that it looked so similar to a game that I've made, and it's like, back in university, I was working on virtual reality, and I'm just noticing Andromeda back there. That's my Andromeda. Might play Andromeda with Andromeda at some point, but yeah. Back in university, I made a 12-week project which was all about studying how to make traditional first-person games work in virtual reality. My solution, well, it's like this. It's to do with having a stationary reference point, which tricks the brain to thinking they're in a pod, or they're sitting stationary and the world's moving around them. But because it's tricking the mind, they consciously think they're still walking, but subconsciously think they're sitting down. And it was all about trying to teach people how to play this. So this is what my game looks like and sounds like.
This is your artificial local intelligence. You may call me Ali. Checking medical record. You've been asleep for... Your memory centers have been affected. It appears that something went wrong with your chronic sleep. It's not the only thing that's gone wrong. Hey, take a look to your right. You should be able to activate that panel using your helmet pointer. Locomotion restored. You may find walking is a bit difficult. Please look down and remind yourself how to do it.
And this is the opening to the Turing test.
Morning, Eva. Your wake-up has been sanctioned by the ISA. We lost contact with the ground crew 450 hours ago. We have tried to establish further communications, but we are not getting any responses. We need you to investigate.
Okay, doesn't it make sense to do visual checks first?
We have already looked at the data. The ISA has made the executive decision that you report to the surface post-haste. You are our emergency response.
What exactly is the emergency?
The ground crew found an organism the ISA believed to be dangerous. We need to re-establish communication.
So yeah, I love Turing Test so much. I think it's a really, really good game. Nice puzzles. They're not too complicated, but they feel like you're doing something unique and tricky. Except the first optional room's a bit weird because you don't ever go back, but the solution is hidden later in the game. But yeah, it's a great game. But it really does feel like if I had had a project and that game, my game, had developed on, it would have been so similar to that game. It is annoyingly scary. The general gist of the game that I made, and I've got reference documents, which I may stick up, I don't know. It's all about having, it was, you the player has been woken up by the AI. The AI has had a virus uploaded to it by someone who's pretending to be from the main corporation. That virus was uploaded, and then the AI went around systematically killing off the crew members. But someone disabled its memory, so it's like its memory was corrupted, and the player would have to go around and get its memory back. And as its memory came back, it suddenly realized, now my program's complete. I need to kill off all the crew. You're the last of the crew. Snap. It was pretty bad when it comes to actually what it was, but it wasn't meant to be a game at the time. It was meant to be an experiment to see how I can make VR experiences, and for that it worked pretty well. People weren't sick with it, which is the ultimate goal. However, the next part was yeah, I finished it, did some stuff, but then looking back at the Turing Test, it's so similar, and it's like, it feels like if I continued my game, it could have developed into something like the Turing Test. I haven't tried Turing Test in VR, and apparently it does have VR, because every time I boot it up, it launches both Steam VR and Oculus, even though I don't have a headset plugged in. And it was just annoyingly good, but it's like, I need to see what it looks like in VR, but I have a feeling they didn't succeed. The way that it looks and the way that certain things in the game make me think that they didn't learn the rules that I learnt while making it. For example, there are quite a lot of animated head cutscenes where the game takes control of the camera and animates it in such a way that makes the player looking on the screen think they are moving, like we saw in the opening cutscene. But there's several puzzle elements that work like that as well, including like ladders and certain switches. Hello, Andromeda. But these types of head animations don't work in virtual reality. They have a tendency to make you feel sick because it's moving the head in such a way that the head doesn't think it's moving correctly. And then there's a few other things about how motion works. Like, if it's, when I started it, I was still working on the DK2 and we hadn't had anything of a release standard. But in general, it works out as if there's not a stationary reference, you will feel sick. If it's dark, you will feel sick. Now, I've been told that Resident Evil VR overcomes a lot of these in specific ways of how it moves and the frame rate. But as I haven't played it, I can't really say that. And this is a PC game, so frame rate can drop. So in my head, I would say that there are things they should do for it. But I can't say that without playing it in VR. And I've still got the DK2, not a CR1, so certain things just won't work. But yeah, that's it for me for today. This actually ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be like a quick, hey, this is what I'm doing, take a look at this, take a look at that. But yeah, hopefully next time we shall have a proper video, like a complete show off of the War for the Undergrowth game. I'm not sure which version I'll be running because I know they've now moved from being the demo back so the demo version into being the backer exclusive version, which I did not back. So yeah, we shall see what happens. Have a good day. Oh, and once again, give me a like and subscribe. They help so much. This channel, if I can, will make sure there will never be any adverts on it if I can help it. So yeah, thanks so much. Ta-da.